Solia found herself in a wide, shadowy plain, all alone. Gregory? Anyone? Where's everybody? With a wet-sounding crash, a metal spike pierced the ground and reached into the sky. With an ear-piercing, whirring screech, Solia covered her head and ran, trying to get away from the ever-growing, ascending spike. Chains erupted from the ground, wrapping up Solia and constricting her when she heard someone calling her name. Solia! Solia! Is it right? Solia gradually awoke in Gregory's arms. She came to the realization she had another nightmare. Ah, thank goodness, you're finally awake. I was getting worried, Gregory said as he eased Solia into a seating position. How long was I out for? Solia replied as the events of the cart chase reoccurred to her. Debut! Is she okay? From the front of the cart, Debu's response came. It's quite alright, Solia. Jacob gave me that healing potion and it's fine now. To answer your question, lass, it's been 10 hours. Solia gasped in surprise as Arnold turned his head towards her and Gregory. Yes, and Dog Boy didn't leave your side the entire time. Before any more bickering could commence, Jacob butt in. I didn't know you could do any magic, Solia. Solia rubbed her eyes tiredly. Neither did I. Well, I guess it explains how he travelled all that distance from Gottgarten. Bloody spellcraft gobbledygook. Where did you learn magic of that anyway, Solia? I don't know, it just sort of happened when I panicked. I'm still a bit tired. Anyway, we better get to Autumn Hills quicker. I suspect those demons are still following us. You might be safe from the church here, but in terms of those demons, well, you're not going to be safe from them, that's for certain. As the group uneasily settles down, Debut talks to Jacob. I know a little bit of spellcraft myself, but from what I've seen or heard of Solia, that's not spellcraft, that's something new. A lady of many mysteries, that's for sure. So much for that holiday, eh? As Jacob and Debut continue talking, Solia and Gregory strike up a conversation. I've missed you, you know. Do you still, with me looking like this? Solia turns to Gregory, who is currently fiddling with his two smaller sets of arms, and secures him in a tight embrace, nuzzling his muzzle. I wonder what materials your baby will be made out of. Gregory ignores Arnold and returns the embrace to Solia. A white and gold suit of armour marches down the corridors towards one of the rooms where his master lays, and knocks on the large, ornate wooden door. With a heavy yet silent motion, the door opens, and the armour approaches the high prophet of the church, Iris. Ferris Flame has arrived in Primerheim, my master. Iris stands while grabbing his staff, his ornate helmets and chestplate and robes shining in the bright light. You will address me as your Lord and Saviour. Your Lord and Saviour. Any news on the girl? Please specify, my Lord and Saviour. You don't have to address me every time. The news on Solia? The armour stood there silent. Answer me, you hell-damned piece of tin. Hell-damned piece of tin. I'll be glad when the Pantheon returns, I'll be rid of you all. The group had managed to reach Autumn Hills, a series of cosy yet sleepy fields that are dotted with hills. A soft breeze befalls the group following a quiet yet lonely atmosphere, as well as a strange warm feeling of home. The group goes past the cobbled wall that marks the territory of a small hamlet. You ever been here before, Jacob? Debut asks as she looks in at all the sights and sounds. No, can't say I have. Though I did hear that it's quite quiet. This just confirms it. Tell you what, this Celtosio must be very humble if he lives in a place like this. I don't see any mansions or castles or anything anywhere. Jacob turned and parked the cart into a space meant for small market stalls. and began talking to someone who was selling various fruits and vegetables.
Sorry about this. Just have to park here whilst we're looking around. We won't be long.
The gruff man turns to Jacob with a happy yet quizzical and concerned look.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'm sure the rest of the folk here won't mind. Say, you're a soldier, aren't you? I used to be. Why? Oh, I was just wondering if you heard of anything on Vale Green. I heard he got attacked. Yeah, we know. We heard that 2 weeks ago. Saw the flash ourselves. No, I don't mean that. A few days after, apparently a monster ravaged through the streets.
Jacob immediately went from dismissive to alert.
What? Yes, I had a late shipment. Guy looked spooked as anything. When I asked what had happened, he told me that the monster had attacked Elgreen. The guards couldn't stop it, and then it went right to the church. After that, seemingly disappeared.
Naby walked next to Jacob after hearing of Saltosia's location from another passerby. I've learned that Saltosia is at the pumpkin patch at the bottom of the hill. What's wrong, Jacob?
Elgreen had been attacked after we left. Some sort of monster. Once we're done here, I need to head straight there. Find out what the hell's bloody going on.
Naby tried to calm Jacob down, but he stormed off back towards the cart and ushered the rest of the group out.
Come on, we're gonna find this great Saltosia and find out what the bloody hell's happening.
The group hastily rushed off to the bottom of the hill, in which Jacob got to let off some steam, but was clearly still quite antsy. It only took roughly 10 minutes before they found a lone cabin at the bottom of the hill, with a hunched over, lanky figure, wearing colourful clothes and a straw hat, playing a hurdy-gurdy. Jacob was about to rush to the figure, but Naby convinced him otherwise to make a friendly first impression, after which she slowly approached.
Excuse me, my fine gentleman, do you happen to be the great Saltosio?
With a quick, cheerful jerk, the figure stood to attention.
Ah yes, it is I, the great Saltosio Mobolsa, at your service!
Naby was taken aback at the hyperactivity of the man, whilst Jacob face-palmed and muttered something under his breath.
Excellent! We were wondering if you could help us.
Saltosio clapped his hands together and leant forward in a friendly manner.
Yeah, certainly! What might an elf be doing around in these parts? Maybe you're looking into some magic or some information or...
It was at this point that Saltosio caught sight of Arnold and Solia.
Oh my word, it wasn't...
Saltosio started to shake and began looking side to side, all around, as if he was in danger.
Something on your mind?
Jacob asked suspiciously.
No, of course not. Come inside. We can have some tea away from prying eyes and ears.
Saltosio packed away his hurdy-gurdy, turned and started fiddling with the door handle.
But we're the only ones here.
Saltosio jumped as Gregory spoke and whirled around in shock.
Gregory? Nonsense, me boy. You never know what passerbys might turn up. Quickly, come inside. We can have some private chat.
Saltosio manages to get the door open and holds it, gesturing the rest inside.
Welcome to my humble abode. Make yourselves comfy.
Jacob gave Naby an exasperated yet concerned look. However, Arnold started marching through the door immediately.
Greetings, master. Do you require any aid? Yes, please, Arnold. Could you help me get some chairs out? Come on, the rest of you. Chop, chop.
With assurance from Solia, the rest of the group headed inside. The sight that greeted them was a cosy yet bare room, with a small round table in the middle, while Saltosio and Arnold were setting up chairs around it. Once the group was seated, Saltosio went over to the chimney where he had a fire roaring, boiling a kettle. I'm brewing mint and nettle tea. Hopefully you'll like it. Naby was about to respond, but Jacob cut in.
Look, something unexpected popped up, so we're kind of in a rush. So I'm hoping you can answer some questions for us. Okay. Sir, certainly, I can answer many questions.
Saltosio replied as he made his way back to the table whilst the kettle was brewing.
Alright, just who exactly are you? Why, I'm the great Saltosio, of course. But to be more specific, I consider myself a teacher. I was the first to find Solia when she was this high.
Saltosio gestured about 3 foot off the ground.
Well, what I mean is, from what I've heard, you're part of a royal family or something? Yes, I had good connections with them. I brought Solia to the royal family so she'd be safer there.
Solia could see a hint of sadness in Saltosio's eyes as he spoke.
Alright, so where's this royal family now? I don't mean to sound crass, but I don't think she'll be safe for long in a hut like this.
There was an awkward pause as Saltosio twiddled his thumbs and began to speak again.
Well, as far as I'm aware, Caesar's still running the empire, and Daenerys is in Silverwood in isolation. I'm unsure where the rest are though, but I can easily find them if you want.
Jacob's brow furrowed in confusion.
Caesar running the empire? What, you mean the emperor?
Saltosio nods.
Yes, his name's Caesar Frotas.
Naby cut in before Jacob could respond.
And Daenerys, as in the Lady Daenerys Silverwood. Of course, all 6 of us have been around for 8,000 years. What? How? In all hell's butt crack are you 8,000 years old?
Saltosio sighed.
It's a really long and complicated story, but it's true.
Everyone was in shock when Arnold broke the long stunned silence.
See, I am infallible. I told you he was immortal.
Jacob threw his hands up in the air in exasperation.
Not now, Arnold. All right, pipe down. I can explain everything. Just ask away and I'll answer best as I can.
Jacob took a deep breath and breathed out a long sigh to calm himself.
All right, we got chased by demons coming here. What would they want with Solia? They're not usually ones to take prisoners. And what does the church want with Solia for that matter as well?
Gregory added to the question.
As you're probably aware, the church is led by the High Prophet Iris. He is essentially the mouthpiece of the gods. Nasty, disgusting bloke though. In the past he wanted Solia because the gods wanted total control over all of us. And Solia was a threat to that.
Jacob raises one of his eyebrows incredulously.
You're talking as if gods are confirmed real. Well, they were! Until, well, they weren't anymore. Iris is probably looking to change that nowadays. He probably thinks that you can summon them back by doing what you did to Solia before. As for the demons, well, my best guess is for bargaining or ransom.
Jacob started rubbing his temples.
Okay. Well, is there anywhere where we can get these 2 safe? That's my primary concern at the moment in terms of all of this. Unfortunately, the only way you're going to get them safe is by building up your connection to the dream. Connection to the what? Well, you'll see.
Saltosio started gesturing with his hands to better describe what he means.
What he called the lands is called the material plane. Up above is where the gods used to reside, is the pantheon. And down below, you have the hells. However, surrounding all that and flowing through it is the dream. Think of it as a realm of magic that reflects and acts upon all 3 of the material world, the pantheon, and the hells. Unlike normal magic where you have to utilize spellcraft, this type of magic requires your connection to be to the dream. In layman's terms, the more your connection, the more powerful you'll get. For example, it's why the family is immortal. Why Gregory's come back after death. Well, I suppose there's been a hiccup with that one, with the decomposition process, but anyway, it is also how Solia had managed to disappear and reappear thousands of years later. It's all because Solia's a being born from the dream. And through her, we are connected to the dream ourselves, if that makes any sense.
Solia looks up and begins talking herself.
That's fine and all, but with everything that's happened and with everything that you said, why can't we find any evidence of this? The church killing Gregory and torturing me, then me disappearing, the dream, the family being in shambles. Surely someone would have noticed and wrote something down. Exactly. There's no bloody evidence. You expect me to believe all this nonsense? Alright, Jacob, let's just...
Jacob cut Nabu off by slamming his fist down on the table.
We dragged ourselves down from Elgreen on a wild goose chase, and for what? This? And speaking of Elgreen, it's been attacked, the priest is probably in danger, There's probably another demonic war coming and we don't know about it. And we're playing babysitter to a bunch of lunatics!
Jacob bolts up from the table and begins to leave. Jacob, where are you going?
I'm going to El Green, finding out what's going on for myself, reporting it to the Empire, then I'm going to get a blasted drink!
Jacob points to Saltosio.
You'll get your head together properly and look after these two and get them somewhere safe.
Jacob then points to Nabu.
And you can play namby-pamby to these lots, but I'm going with or without you.
Without turning, Jacob slams the door behind him. There was a long, deafening silence, which is broken by the teapot whistling. Jacob marched back up the hill, and when he reached his cart, he kicked the wheel violently, and then downed his flask of alcohol. By the time he got the cart ready, Nabu had approached him angrily, with Solia, Gregory and Arnold in tow.
And what have you brought these lot?
Nabu replied with a scowl.
Well, you said it yourself, Jacob. They won't be safe in that little hut of his. Bah, whatever. Hop on in before I change my mind. Can't be bothered to deal with this.
With that proclamation, the group headed back to Ale Green in silent anxiety.